Welcome to the Millennial Rant, a podcast about whatever's bothering me today. With topics ranging from politics to pop culture, there's a rant to cover everyone. For more Millennial Rant content, you can join me on the web at millennialrant.com. Happy Singles Awareness Day, everybody. And yes, before you ask, I do genuinely mean that. I'm actually super excited that it's Valentine's Day today, because that means that tomorrow all of the chocolate is going to be 50% off. Fun fact, didn't used to like chocolate, but my taste buds have since changed, so I'm looking forward to that for sure. But in all seriousness, I do actually really enjoy Valentine's Day, even though I am perpetually single. I've dated here and there were a few times where I was in a pseudo relationship that I thought, oh, this could go somewhere, but obviously it never did. So I kind of live in this, again, perpetual state of singleness. I'm really not bothered by it. And what's really kind of hilarious to me is how much other people are bothered by it. Not just my perpetual singleness, but the fact that I genuinely enjoy relationship-based holidays like Valentine's Day. Although I am personally more partial to the Japanese version of Valentine's Day, which is all about celebrating the love that you have with the people around you, whether or not they're family or friends or a lover, boyfriend, girlfriend type thing. And it's also a day for confessions and that sort of thing. So I really like that. I enjoy giving chocolate to my family to show my love for them and whatnot. But you would be shocked how many people have gotten genuinely, unironically upset at me for having zero problems with enjoying Valentine's Day as a single person. In fact, there are plenty of people who get upset at me for being okay with being single anyway. And it's not like I don't want that, it's not like I don't want to date and get married and have a family. Of course I do. But why would I choose to be single and miserable when I can just choose to be happy? It took a long time for me to get into a place where I felt emotionally okay with being single. And I think a large part of it has to do with the fact that our culture is so heavily relationship based. And I think a lot of people would disagree with me on that. But if you really stop to think about it, it really is. We are constantly as a society moving from one romantic, specifically relationship to another. And if you're not in a romantic relationship, then your only real goal is to get into one as soon as possible. And this is fine for people who, do well on that scene, but it's not everybody who does, right? There are some people who are more reserved. There are people who, were hurt in the past. There are people who don't have feelings that are romantic or sexual in any way whatsoever. And there's nothing wrong with that. And me personally, it did take me a while to get to this point where I was okay with who I am and where I'm at in my life. And there was always this part of me that was waiting, for my Hallmark movie, my meet cute and my misunderstandings, followed by ultimately my happily ever after. And as a culture, we've really, I think, been conditioned to picture romance and love and relationships in that way. This idea of, it hits you out of nowhere and it just is this overwhelming sweep you off your feet type thing. And people who don't experience that feel gypped, or they feel like they just haven't gotten to that point in their lives yet. They just haven't found the one. Honestly, I think that's a little ridiculous. This idea that everybody in the world has one person whom they're destined for. There are going to be people, who could be with basically anyone that they cross paths with throughout the day. And it's all just a matter of, your stars aligning just right with that, other compatible person, because otherwise there's really only one person in the world for every other person. That's hard. That's a hard... I mean, even if that was true, how would you even know or guarantee that you found that one person? It's just there's so many people in the world. But putting aside that sense of magical whimsy, I think is a big part of getting to a healthy relationship level. I'll be honest, my parents had a Hallmark movie type courtship, and it has most definitely, affected the way that I viewed relationships as I got older. Most of my brothers, though, I mean, some of them, but for a lot of them, it was just, again, being in the right place at the right time to bump into somebody with whom they're compatible and making that active decision to spend the rest of your life together. I guess holidays like Valentine's Day that are wrapped around love, it's more the idealized idea of love, right? It's not the actual expression of love. It's what people who want to be in love feel like love is. And as I've grown older and I've been able to take stock of myself and really kind of come to an understanding of who I am and how I feel and how I love, I honestly find romantic holidays to be a little hilarious. And sure, someday I'd like to have like that whole total over the top Valentine's Day. I think that again would be hilarious. But it's not like what I felt it was when I was younger. This like driving need to have it because that's what love is. It's not. It's the idea of love or somebody's idea of love. And so I have no problem enjoying Valentine's Day for what it is. The idea of love and the love that people do actually share, whether that's for family or again romances, it doesn't matter. The idea that there is a holiday that is dedicated to the idea of love, however you choose to enjoy or express your love on that holiday. I think it's great. And I absolutely love it. Am I more aware of the fact that I'm single on Valentine's Day than on other days? I mean, I guess a little bit. But for me, that just means that I'm not going to have to wait in line forever to get into a restaurant or put my name on a list back in, November or something. I can just enjoy the day for what it is. And tomorrow, I get lots and lots of cheap candy. So, however you choose to celebrate this Valentine's Day, I hope that you are happy as you do it.